The NBA on 2K Sports. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Here we go. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. We are in the home of the Heat here in beautiful Miami. And, of course, Shaquille O'Neal. Many wonder how they'll do without him. We'll soon find out.
And to say the deal changes the look and the feel of this franchise, quite frankly, is stating the obvious. They are a vastly different team than they were just a few days ago. Obviously looking long-term rather than short.
Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Shot clock at 5. Garnett, the screen. Here's Anthony. Offensive rebound. Duncan right side. Now Johnson. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 for 4 here, still looking for their first man.
And boy, Wembanyama has every shot in the bag. How about the touch there?
Greg, with how explosive Ja Morant is, he has certainly taken his fair share of awkward falls.
And that's what worries you with guys like that. He's already had a number of injuries in his young career, but we all just want to see him at full health.
Here's Antetokounmpo after the basket by Minnesota. James with it. Now Anthony defending. Back to LeBron. Rebound Minnesota. Garnett, the screen. From outside the arc. And Anthony is good for 3.
Good to see Anthony knocking down that 3. When he does this, the offense becomes even more potent.
Outside Worthy. And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. Wants to regroup and go over the strategy. Let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Eric Spoelstra. David?
I asked him what's the hardest thing about facing Nikola Jokic. He said the way he controls the game at the offensive end. He keeps everyone involved. He's a great scorer, and you have to keep him off the offensive glass. It's a tall order, all of it. Guys?
Thank you, David.
For your Heat High Squad.
LeBron up top. And And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
Just 1 of 4 from the floor, not the start they were looking for here.
That bucket in no time at all.
All too easy for Duncan there. Feels like he can take these shots whenever he wants to.
Wembanyama outside. Giannis outside. Back to Wembanyama. 5 on the clock. Cooper. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Rico, come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Now, here's Anunoby. Pass to Garnett. Over Giannis. And Garnett misses. And so James will bring it up for the Heat. It's a three-point game. From the arc. Rebound by Anthony. And Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, receiving a record 8-year, $120 million extension. Greg had some big dough.
Is it ever? And remains coaching for the only NBA franchise he's ever worked for. Already one of the most tenured head coaches in the association, and that figures to continue for a while.
And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Wembanyama outside. Pulls up, high post. They get it back. Outside, Antetokounmpo. To the hoop. And there's the big-time jam as he slams it right over Garnett.
How about the flash by Antetokounmpo? I mean, just an insanely talented athlete who loves to punish that rim.
Now here's Duncan. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear. They're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
James gets the bucket.
You know, really impossible to know what James is thinking in advance. I mean, especially in these sets.
Anunoby in the corner. Garnett, the screen. Fades back. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
Buckets, but he should have just gone straight up with it instead of trying to fade away.
Anunoby with it. He's picked up by Pippen. Miami trailer. The shot by Antetokounmpo. Nobody around. A three-pointer off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Sinks the three-pointer. And we've got an injury out on the floor. Very unfortunate as always, guys. Don't like to see this.
And that's the one thing you just really can't control or even guard against, and that's injury.
Yeah, you know, aside from some of the player protection rules, which have been of benefit, a lot of it just comes down to what the body can withstand.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Minnesota making a switch.
Fans, give it up for the best dance team in the NBA, your Miami Heat dancers.
1:27 left to play in the first quarter. Pippen a screen. They get it again. And it's Pippen slamming it down.
You know, Pippen is about 6'8", but he's got the wingspan of a condor, using that reach to corral that rebound.
Embiid the screen. Richardson with it. Now guarded by Wembanyama. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. English misses.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50. Balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. And he knocks down the first one.
One of the most feared, versatile scorers at that forward position. Big game James always seems to make the most out of any situation.
Minnesota in the lead. Oh, Worthy with the block.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
There's the lob to the hoop. And stolen by Gervin. .30 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's English. Doesn't go for him. Some solid defense from Bosch. Here's Moncrief. Inside. Kicks it out to Robertson. To the paint. Here's Bosch. And then Bosch with the jam.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. It's the Heat. They're up by 1. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And when you consider how the Heat are doing, guys, what jumps out to you, stats-wise?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the energy, the effort defensively. They put it all out there in that opening quarter.
Now here's Bosch driving the lane, and then Bosch with the jam.
Really like the long strides Bosch takes on the drive. Outstanding and quickly getting to the rack.
he commits the intentional foul. Greg, you look at the great coaches. What are one or two of the most important qualities for success that you see?
Well, for me, Kevin, I think you got to be able to adapt tactically. I mean, that's huge, and especially in the playoffs. But most important, can you motivate and unify a locker room? That leadership quality is what really puts a coach over the top.
Outside Bosch. Pass to Moncrief. Bosch, the screen. 6 on the shot clock. Good work there as it goes. Moncrief's got the lead up to 5 now for the Heat.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
They're doing it with style. McGrady punishing the D for giving him that kind of airspace.
Moncrief, El Cid with it. Pass to Wallace. Bosch, the screen. And he drives in. Robertson right side. And a miss there on the triple.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
And here's Anthony for 3. And he leading by 3. Robertson with it. And it's Richardson picking him up. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Jaylen Brown has put it all together. He said, I'm figuring out my spots to be aggressive. That's in my DNA. But also showing how I've grown. Being a great screener, delivering passes on time and on target. That's important to being a great teammate. I'm focused on being a better basketball player. Kevin?
Yeah, and he's a smart one too, right, David? He is something else. Outstanding stuff, DA, as always. Now Robertson after the missed 3 by Carmelo.
And just able to score in so many ways. Robertson puts the defense there in an impossible situation.
Miami's shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
And Robertson is a do-it-all kind of player, my kind of guy. I mean, he's also somebody you can trust to help facilitate your offense.
Richardson for 3. Another miss by Minnesota. Outside Bosch. Shoots a fader, and the shot is good. And the Heat lead by 6.
What you love about Robertson is that he knows his strength on offense and plays to them with confidence.
Outside Bosch. Robertson outside. Bosch, the screen. Here's Bowen. Hasn't made one yet. Shot from the wing. And another basket for Miami.
He does not lack for confidence. He shouldn't. I mean, this guy's a dangerous scorer.
And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. Wants to talk some things over. Might be seeing some things to adjust. Both teams deciding to change it up. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Pass to Duncan. Johnson outside. Back to Duncan. Cans the shot from the wing. Duncan's got 5 now.
You know, that shot is virtually automatic for Duncan. I mean, he's extremely dependable in that mid-range area.
Outside, Antetokounmpo. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Giannis has got the lead up to 9 now for the Heat.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
Duncan outside. And he's good on the 3-ball. Duncan's got 5 points in the quarter.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Nothing like answering back. One team gets 3, you fire 3 of your own. Boom.
And it's Giannis missing.
The defense there got away with a major lapse. And you watch Jason Tatum, year to year, he is a model of consistency across the board. The numbers are pretty similar, and the effort never wanes.
Johnson can't hit. The Heat leading by 6. Here's Thompson, and Thompson throws it down.
Boy, the leaping ability of Thompson, so impressive. Easily getting off the floor to jam it home.
Johnson outside. Screen by Duncan. The 3 from English. Pass to Garnett. Second chance shot. It drops for his 3rd basket. He's missed only 1 shot.
KG just looked so confident. Like the moment he had the ball, he knew that shot was dropping.
Screen by Antetokounmpo. Wembanyama, no good. Minnesota trails by 6. English with no one around. Traps in the tray. English has got his first 3 points of the game.
And, you know, even though he's not a lights-out shooter from deep, the defense still has to be more aggressive there.
And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. James, he'll bring it up for the Miami Heat. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. To the inside. Down low, inside. Giannis drops it in.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Well, I tell you what, he earned his money. On that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and 1.
And both free throws good for Johnson.
Well, he's certainly been on target with the free throws. Such an advantage when your bigs can knock them down from the line.
James outside. Pass to Wembanyama. Here's Bowen. Tries it from 19. Gets that one to fall after missing his first 2. 1 for 3 from the field.
Bowen showing his stroke and accuracy from mid-range.
Now Daniels. Here's Garnett. Covered by Giannis. Daniels with it. Shot clock at 6. Johnson goes in. And it goes down 2 points.
Well, Magic is simply that good and that smooth. Even while being fouled, he gets it up and down.
And this is his 2nd trip to the line in the game. The Heat with the lead. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Pass to Wembanyama. Just 5 to shoot. There's the triple. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. From deep 3-point land. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Heat lead by 2. Live from Miami, you're watching 2K Sports. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. And here is Robertson. Fires from the wing. Carmelo Anthony comes up with the rebound.
Well, he's got to be disappointed in the result there. I mean, the defender really didn't make any impact at all.
First team foul. Now in the game.
Down low. Here's Embiid.
Strong move and a little spicy, too. Embiid's passion for the game, the way he plays, I love it.
Assist goes to Kevin Garnett.
Floats one up. It's blocked. Now, here is McGrady. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Garnett up top. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. To the middle. Here's Kirilenko. And that one is hammered home.
That is just too easy for AK-47. He's a pro at knocking it down with force.
And always a bit of risk on those long passes. Lucky the D couldn't come up with it there.
Now here's Anthony. Very solid contribution from him as he averages over 20 points a game. On the wing, Daniels. Embiid the screen. Daniels, no good. And Miami has possession. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Back to Robertson. Down low. Kirilenko. He gets that one. And it's a 4-point Heat lead.
Well, you know, if you're playing Robertson to score, not a bad idea, but that means you're going to leave other guys open, and he'll find them.
It's taken away by Wallace. Robertson outside. From the high post. Rebound, Minnesota.
Well, I don't think he's performing up to his own expectations, but they still find themselves out in front.
Back to Daniels. Here's McGrady. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Just 1 for 4 from the field, not the way they wanted to start the second half.
The 3 from Bosch. Rebound by Anthony. Minnesota trails by 4. Pass to Embiid. And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Pass to Gervin. 5 to shoot. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
So smooth, elusive, eel-like is George Gervin, especially when it comes to torturing defenses in screen and roll action.
Here's Bowen. A three-pointer is right on target. Bowen's got 5.
And just no excuse, guys, for leaving a shooter like him open beyond the arc.
Pass to English. Launches it. It's Chet Holmgren with the rebound. The Heat leading by 5. Baseline try. Good on the shot.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Simply taking advantage of what the defense has given them, and they've really made the most of it.
Pass to D-Box. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson.
He is just always a step ahead of the defense. Magic runs this offense with absolute precision.
Now here's Robertson. 5 points in the game. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. Fires from the corner. Minnesota with the rebound. Pass to Duncan. From deep. And another 3 for Minnesota.
It's rare that you see this from Duncan, so you know he had to really like the shot.
And Greg, we were talking Jaylen Brown making the 2023 All-NBA second team. That was big for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kevin, it made Jaylen eligible for the Supermax, signing for that 5-year extension in July of 23. At the time, the largest contract in NBA history.
Here's Duncan, and the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
And, you know, this team depends on Duncan offensively because they know how great a scorer he is.
Pass to Bowen. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. Basket good. And it's 9 points for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
English in the corner. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
And he made the right read on that play, but just couldn't secure the steal.
You know, fellas, 1 second quicker, and that's going the other way.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. And now we've got the intentional foul. And we'll have a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. He's ready to talk things through with the team. Both teams will make substitutions. Now Johnson. He's got 5. Pass to Garnett. Clock at 6. Kicks it out to Johnson. It's good. This game is all even. Johnson's got 8.
Proving once again that he can flat out do it all. Magic phenomenal at creating off the dribble, this time burning the defense with the catching fire.
Now here's Wallace. Still yet to score. And here is Robertson. Miami needs to get a shot off. Here's Kirilenko. Good. And it's Giannis picking up the assist.
The real come at us, and we're coming right back at you.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.